Did you know that you can actually tell Windows to use your graphics cards for specific applications so they run smoother? I'm going to show you that and a bunch of other settings that you may or may not know about. Let's start off with that graphics card settings, which is actually pretty cool. Your computer's motherboard has a built-in integrated graphics card, but many of us add a dedicated graphics card. What Windows does is make a decision for you which is the best graphic card for it to use for that application. But here's the thing, it sometimes makes the wrong call. So instead of taking advantage of that GPU power, you get that sluggish video, laggy games, and that janky movements when it chooses the wrong card. And here's how we fix that. Right, in your Windows search, type there graphics settings, and you'll see this option pops up. Now, under the section, it says choose between better performance or battery life when using an app. I'm going to make sure the desktop app is selected, and I'm going to click on browse. Now, all I've got to do is put in which app I actually want to use. I'm going to use Adobe Premiere Pro in this case. There is the exe file, and then I click on add. And there we go. Now, it says here, let Windows decide. No, I don't want Windows to decide. I want to tell it what to do. So I click on options and I say use high performance. And in this case, it's going to use the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080 Super. And I click on save. That's it. From now on, it's always going to use the graphics card in the highest performance possible. So how do you get the path to your app that you want? Simple. Open up the menu, find the app that you want to actually use. Click on it, click on more, and then click on open file location. When that pops up, there's my app, Adobe Photoshop 2025. So I'm going to right click on that, choose properties, and then choose the target. There's my target's already selected. Right click on that, click on copy, close this down, cancel, and press the X, and click on browse. And under the file name, right click and paste, and click on add. And there we go. That's how you get the path to your specific app that you want to optimize. And don't forget to select high performance so that you get to control it. It's as simple as that. And this makes a massive difference. Now, hold up. Before you go all crazy and put all your apps in there, which I know some of you are going to do, remember that if you add apps that are not graphic intensive, like your standard Word or your notepad or calculator, you're not going to see any difference. Also, if you're on a laptop, this is going to consume more battery, so beware of that. Right, let's switch some gears and let's talk about the Windows search. Some people absolutely hate it, and I get it. It brings up the wrong results, doesn't bring up the right stuff, takes forever to run, and so you'll end up using an external tool like one of these. What you may not know is that the reason that your Windows search sucks could be because of an indexing problem. Now, indexing is like the table of contents of a book, if you remember those things. When you want to look for something specific, you find it in the contents and it tells you which page in the book it's actually on. Now, if that table of contents got mixed up, then it's constantly going to send you to the wrong pages. And obviously that's going to be pretty frustrating. The same thing happens on your computer. The indexing can actually become corrupt. So you're not going to find what you're looking for. But here's how to fix that. Right in your Windows search, type their indexing options and click that option. And you'll see 455,000 items are currently being indexed on my computer. Go down to where it says advanced. And middle there, it says troubleshooting. You want to click on rebuild to rebuild your entire index. Now, to disable this, you can right-click on your C drive or your hard drive and click on properties. And at the very bottom, you've got this option here that if you untick it, it will disable indexing altogether. All right, so now you're thinking, why would you want to disable indexing, the very thing that allows for you to search for your work? Well, if you're using an older computer with those traditional spinning hard drives, in that case, indexing can actually make your computer really slow. So disabling it does help. If you have an SSD drive, then this isn't going to make much of a difference, so leave that alone. You might also want to consider disabling indexing if you're using one of those external search tools like the ones that I mentioned. Those tools do their own indexing, so no point in having the same thing done twice. Just look up your tool, see what it does. Right, next up, let's talk about some performance settings. Check this out. This time we're going to right click on this PC and then choose Properties. Then we're going to go onto the very right hand side where it says Advanced System Settings. We're going to click on that. At the top, Performance. You got that little tab, click on Settings. Under the visual effects, you can say, hey, what do you want to do? I want to let Windows choose what's best for my computer, or I can adjust for best appearance, or I can adjust for best performance. Or if you're fancy, you can choose on custom and you can simply go down this list and enable or disable things that you like for your computer. Just experiment. Don't be afraid to play with these settings and see what works best for you. So many people are just afraid that they're going to break something if they click the wrong thing. It just doesn't happen that way. Personally, I just don't like letting Windows make that decision for me, so I choose the best performance. And you can always go back and choose the option to let Windows do its own thing if you click on those custom boxes and it didn't dig the results. Right, next up, two oldies but goodies that we may have done in the past but have kind of forgotten about. Type privacy settings in your search, and then when that pops up on the left hand side, scroll down until you see background apps. And we want to make sure that those are obviously enabled, but we also want to go down this list and to make sure that the apps that are currently running in the background should be allowed to run in the background. Anything you don't want, disable. Now, right click on the taskbar and choose Task Manager. Then at the top, choose Startup. And now you'll see all the apps that are actually running on your computer when you start it up. If you click on status, you can see if it's enabled or not, but you want to click on Start Impact to see if it's got a high impact on your computer. Now, go through the list, right-click on anything you don't recognize, and then click on the option to search online so it tells you what it is. You want to make sure it's legit software, and then you can go down the list, right-click on anything, choose Disable so it doesn't run on startup. Yes, I know these have been around forever, nothing groundbreaking here, but what we do tend to do is forget that when all these apps get these updates or we install new software, we don't go back and check if those stuff that we disabled previously is still disabled and not re-enabled after the update. And this is especially true for the stuff that goes into the startup. You'll be amazed how many app developers want to shove as much shit in there to make their program pop up every time you launch Windows. Okay, it's time to focus. And by focus, I mean this. Right, back to the search we go, and we're going to type there Focus Assist, then select the option when that pops up, and over here there's a bunch of stuff, right? So see which notification you would like to see and hear so you can stay focused. Then you can switch it off so you can see everything all the time. Or you can go priority only, so only from a specific set of people or apps. Now, the next option is alarms only. So basically, hide all notification except for alarms. In other words, don't be late for your meeting. So cool, I can enable that. And then automatic rules. Sometimes you just don't want to be disturbed. You want to be focused. So you can actually set up an option to automatically turn on Focused Assist. So, of course, you can select the start time, the end time. You can select whether you want it repeated daily. And then the focus level. I want alarms only or I want priority apps only. And now I can go back to work. So other places I don't want to be disturbed is when I'm duplicating my screen. Maybe I'm sharing my screen doing a presentation. I don't want notification or anything to disturb that session. When I'm playing a game, I certainly don't want to be disturbed. And when my apps are in full screen, well, they're in full screen for a reason. So don't disturb me for that either. To be honest, I thought this was kind of a gimmick originally, but I am now setting boundaries where I just don't want to be notified by every little thing all the time. We have it enough on our phones. Do I need everything to pop up on my computer? I think not. So I started using focus mode and it really helped me get stuff done. Okay, on to the next one, and this one I really like. Dynamic lock in the Windows search, and then click on that option and then scroll down on the sign in option until you see dynamic lock. Windows can use devices that are paired with your PC to know when you're away and lock your PC when those devices are out of range. Now, if you have something that's already paired, it will just work. If you don't, click on Bluetooth and other devices, and then just go through the normal motion of pairing your phone with your computer. I like the phone because you keep it in your pocket when you walk away from your desk usually. So now when you walk away from your desk, your computer waits about a minute or so and then automatically locks itself. And of course, by locking, it just means that you need to put in your usual password or PIN when you sign into your computer. I highly recommend this, as so many people leave their computers unlocked, which means someone like me, can walk up to that computer, put anything on that computer, or take anything off that computer that we shouldn't. Alright, that's it for now. Let me know if you want to see more of these types of tip videos, and of course, we can't wait to read those Switch to Linux and these are so basic dude comments, which I'm sure are going to come and add so much value to everyone. Said no one ever. Also check out these two apps that come pre-installed with Windows that fix your slow computer and find out what's really eating your slow internet. Give the video a quick thumbs up if you liked it. I'm going to see you in that video. Let's go.